will soon be capable of instant communication with Baha'i centers around the globe. They need as many members as they can get. Recruitment is a priority. Membership in India alone has risen from 900 to almost 1 million in 20 years. In Hemingway, South Carolina, recruitment takes a more subtle form with an easy blend of popular music and public service messages.
Uniting the world, one heart at a time. Radio Bahai, WLGI.
Radio Bahai in South Carolina was put here because this is where the largest concentration of Baha'is is in the United States. There are more than 10,000 Baha'is within the greater broadcast region of the radio station.
Uniting the world one heart at a time. This is Radio Bahai, WLGI.
We very much intend to share the Baha'i message over the radio. But the Baha'i message is can be communicated in many different ways.
Dr. Roy Jones is a happy man. This former black activist of the 60s has just taken over the Louis Gregory Institute, set up 15 years ago as a teaching center to spread the Baha'i message among the local population. Dr. Jones claims 1,700 converts in the last 2 months and plans for another 20,000 by next year.
We have experienced back in between 65 and 70 a growth pattern that was phenomenal, in which the Baha'i faith seemed to have appealed to the rural, southern black population. And now in '85, we're experiencing a great growth in the adherence of the Baha'i faith. So again, the message is reaching the population. It's a message that touches hearts, and people in South Carolina are heartfelt people. They're folksy people, they're friendly people. And the message penetrates hearts.
I do believe.
Old-time gospel tunes, but new-time Baha'i words provide the message.
I now believe that the Baha died for me, and with the...
To me, being a Baha'i is the most beautiful thing I have never even dreamed this could happen. I have a more clear understanding about Jesus Christ, about all the prophets of God, whereas before I only just tuned in on Jesus Christ. That's all I know about. But now I know more about the others.
Mary and many others are enthused about a religion that claims to welcome different styles, cultures, and existing faiths.
I was a Methodist. I was a Baptist too. I feel that the time is right because everybody is searching for something and everybody's looking for something. And I think the Baha'i faith is what it's looking for because they didn't try everything else. And it hasn't worked. People have been sitting back and they've been waiting. They've been going to churches. They were going to conventions, looking for this spiritual revival, and they haven't found it. And in the Baha'i faith, they found it.
We have not purposefully attempted to convert, using your term, members of church congregations with the intent of upsetting those congregations. I've lived in different parts of the United States, the Northeast, the Midwest, the South. I think the message here is certainly given more directly. We've got a kind of an army mobilized with unity of thought, unity of purpose, unity of action. It has an effect.
The Baha'is, who clergy and no churches, are encouraged to go out and teach their faith.
I've been doing what we call mass teaching for about 15 years. This is mass teaching. The people who live in this state, in this part of the state, have no other access to finding out about the state. So it simply means that the Baha'is have to make a special effort, have to give these people a special measure of love to go out into the lofty world and to be the messenger of God, whom they wait until that comes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
All right, how are you?
Good. We're members of the Baha'i faith, and we believe in the unification of the whole world, and we'd like to share our message here today. The first thing I want to show you is that Baha'is live all over the world. God sent different prophets down to mankind to teach him how to live better. He sent Abraham, Krishna.
It is a very direct approach. We believe that people are open to the message here in a way that they're not in other places. So that when we mention, the Baha'i faith, that there's a natural curiosity for people who want to know more. So once we mention it, people ask us the questions.
Do you sincerely believe in your heart that all these things that I've told you? Do you believe in the message from God to live better today? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, by saying this, you're a Baha'i in your heart. And for us to better communicate with each other, we have this declaration card that you can sign. But before doing this, I have to read the bottom statement for you. And if you agree with that, then you can go ahead and sign it. And by doing this, we'll send you free information on Baha'i faith. It'll just help us communicate with one another.
First, I have to study over that. Mm-hmm. I have to study over that.
Okay.
The Baha'i faith forbids alcohol, gambling, and involvement in politics. Its teachings are infallible.
In signing this card, I declare belief in Baha'u'llah, the God. I like Bob, his forerunner, the men like John the Baptist who foretold of Baha'u'llah, and Abdu'l-Bahá, the center of his covenant, his son who kept the Baha'i faith united into one religion. I request enrollment in the Baha'i community with the understanding that Baha'u'llah established sacred principles, laws, and institutions which I must obey. We're supposed to pray every day and try Baha'u'llah. Okay, can I...
We'd like to get your name and address.
We'd like to get your name and address.
No, I ain't gonna join, no. I ain't gonna join. I could study over them. Study over that.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So I ain't gonna sign nothing to know.
He didn't sign. And so apparently people in the area. It looks suspiciously like a hard sell.
Hard sell? Well, if the product is one that we believe that can contribute to the betterment of the community, the betterment of mankind, and we certainly have problems sharing about it. It just seems to happen here differently, and so the approach here is different. The style is different. The culture is different.
The Universal House of Justice has absolute authority on the faith. It has an emerging world religion as it meets with different styles and cultures. But there are central tenets of the faith that cannot be adapted. Here is the Baha'i version of their teaching.
It is another article of the Baha'i faith. These religions are the different stages of the same faith of God, aggressively proclaimed educators of humanity. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, and now the Bab and Baha'u'llah.
What it means, in effect, when you say the oneness of religion, what Baha'is mean is that all religions are one, and there are some that is the only find true religion.
The Christian who becomes a Baha'i learns to love and respect Muhammad. I'm sorry to say not what we see from his followers today, but what we see in his life, if we study it, and in his book, the Quran. It's a very wonderful book. The Jew accepts Jesus. The whole bunch of them, so to speak, have to accept the fact that Krishna brought a divine illumination to the world. That Buddha brought a divine message to the world, you see. It's a far broader concept than people realize.
Another fundamental article of the religion is the prophecy of world peace. Baha'is are convinced that it's coming soon, ending suffering created by war.
It looks as if we were so pig-headed, so stupid, so selfish, so asleep at the switch, that the only way we are going to get rid of war and go forward into the future and create a world civilization and abolish war is by being pretty well beat up somewhere along the line, you see. Then we will have to do it. And then comes the glorious future, because you get rid of war once and for all.
After the world is at peace, Baha'is believe there will be an inevitable move towards the creation of a new kind of government, a new world order.
A world federal system will rule the entire planet and exercise unchallengeable authority. A world executive, backed by an international force, will carry out the decisions arrived at and will protect the organic unity of the whole Commonwealth. A world tribunal will adjudicate and deliver its compulsory and final verdict in all and any disputes that may arise between the various elements constituting this universal system.
This is the ultimate goal of the Baha'is, is to create a one religion, one state, one order system for the future. It's to be known as the Baha'i World Commonwealth, or the
Baha'i critic Dennis McEwen.
And they are entirely serious in their intention to create what would effectively be a world superstate, a totalitarian superstate, which would be a one-party system within which there would be very little room, I would think, for serious dissent and divergence from that system.
All right, you're an atheist, you are a hippie, or whatever you want to be. Why not? You're free. Can't coerce people. You can entice them, you can educate them, you can reason with them, but we don't believe in bludgeoning people to believe the way we do. That would be the exact antithesis of creating unity in the world, wouldn't it?
The vision of a unified civilization without war is eagerly awaited by 3 million Baha'is throughout the world. The present-day reality is that hundreds of thousands risk their lives for merely practicing their faith.
It looks as though, unfortunately, we are moving now into another phase of the persecution. Executions have started again after being frightened off, I guess, by the publicity and the attention at the Human Rights Commission. And it looks like we're into another dark patch in the immediate future, I'm afraid.